Hi everyone, welcome to Miami Maker Faire Day 2 for Matrix Labs. We're here today to show you some demos of Matrix devices.
Hi everyone, welcome to Miami Maker Faire Day.
All right, glitch over. So that was because I had the YouTube stream on as well.
Hi everyone,
welcome
it's happening
to
again. Miami Maker Faire Day 2 for Matrix Labs.
All right, cons of having several devices on the same stream. I don't know where the sound is coming from. Okay. I think now I don't have any tabs that will be playing my sound back at me. So we're going to start the intro all over again. Welcome to Miami Maker.
Right.
Oh no, it's happening again. Hurrah, I found the problem. Okay, let's see, okay, this time it's good. So I basically had the WOVA app, which is the Miami Maker Faire app, on, and that's where the second YouTube stream was playing back at me, and I could hear myself. Okay, so problem solved. Take 3. Welcome to Miami Maker Faire Day 2 for Matrix Labs virtual booth. Basically, I have a few demos set up here to show you all, and if you want to just hop on, see the demos, have a conversation about Matrix devices or other tech stuff, anything you're sort of interested in, hop on and have a conversation with me. So the StreamYard link that's in the YouTube video description is where you can hop on and actually have a conversation. Like you can talk, you don't have to turn on video. It can be, just audio. We can have a conversation, talk about things. And then the YouTube link is for you to be able to watch, and you can also ask questions in the chat, and I'll be able to see and respond to those. So if you're too shy to have a conversation, feel free to join and engage through chat as well. We'll be here to answer questions, Matrix related or tech related. I'm not an expert on everything, but I can definitely shed light on some things that I do know, or just ask you questions if you know what you're talking about. But yeah, I'll be sitting here for the next 3 hours. So if you want to engage with me, that would be great. I would appreciate that. So yeah, I'll just keep my phone here. Oh, that's not stable. So you all can see me. And then these are my demos, which I will primarily be showing. Yeah. So come check them out. Let's see, what else can I do? I can do this. Oh, that's even better. I like this better because that way I'm smaller. I don't have to worry as much about how I'm looking. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking to myself. I'm gonna try to figure out a way if I can like play back some demo videos we have while I'm waiting for like a human to show up. Oh, my cat's here in the background. You can see his legs. But yeah, so I'll just be chilling here, waiting for people to show up. And yeah, enjoy. Let's see. Enjoy Maker Faire Miami. Yeah. Okay. So should I mute myself? I guess I will mute myself for now. But definitely, if you pop on to talk, I will hear through my laptop, and I'll let you on. We can have a conversation. I think I'm repeating myself at this point. Honestly, with the 3 takes I took, I did this whole spiel where I was like, "Oh, hi, welcome to Miami Maker Faire, day 3 or day 2." I did that whole spiel like 3 times. The first time I did it, I realized I didn't actually hit go live. That was really, I mean, it wasn't that frustrating. It was a perfect take though. Trust me. I know, like I tend to say sometimes, but I feel like that was a good take. And then it turned out that I didn't actually go live, and that was unfortunate. But it's okay because now I'm live, and yeah, and I went over the spiel quite a few times. So hopefully you know why I'm here, chilling live, and hopefully you join. All right, I'm gonna mute myself now. So I did mention, or Matrix Labs mentioned in a social post that I would be reading my Kindle if nobody showed up. I know it's early. It's like 10 a.m. Eastern time on a Sunday, so I don't expect a large turnout. Oh wow, it says 2 people are viewing. I wonder if both of those people are me. That would be kind of hilarious. But it would also make a lot of sense because, again, it's early and a lot of people are sleeping. But regardless, wow, it is choppy. My video is choppy, but at least it's on there. All right. Well, anyway, I know it's early, but I'll be here for a couple hours, so feel free to join me. I will be reading my Kindle, and if I don't notice you, forgive me in advance. I think I will notice you if you come though, because I should get like a notification sound. So no fear. Let's see. How can I prop my phone up? I'm going to use this. Hopefully nothing will fall. Okay, this is acceptable. Maybe a little bit higher. Oop. Yeah, I have a fan. That's fun. Wow, you can see the fan. Huh. All right. So, I guess I'll mute myself since nobody's really listening. I feel like I'm monologuing. I've never done that before. It's interesting. I have to remember that I'm live streaming and this will likely be on YouTube forever. Unless, oh my god, somebody liked this and that was not me. So it must have been a real human. Real human, feel free to engage using chat box or by actually joining the stream, by clicking on the StreamYard link in the description, or checking out, or just like typing in the StreamYard link because it's pretty small into your browser. It's really easy. You don't have to turn on video. You can just have a conversation with me. I'm not bored yet. I mean, I'm not bored. I have my Kindle. It's all fine. But given this is a tech booth to show off cool tech stuff that I have over here, you may want to join so I can show you. I'll share my screen, show how everything's working. I have some voice assistant stuff. I basically have voice assistant stuff, and I have a Mozilla IoT gateway running on this one, which basically is like a web UI where you can control these devices remotely over Wi-Fi. It's pretty great. Love the tech there, but I can show you how it works if you join. Or if you ask me to show you in the chat, which so far nobody's on there because it's still early morning on a Sunday like we were talking about. But it is quarantine times, so maybe, just maybe, somebody's up and has their phone on. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking to myself. And yeah, welcome. Have a great Sunday. I'm still here. All right. Hi, I see that there's 4 people watching, which is good. Just want to reiterate that I am chilling here for Miami Maker Faire, Day 2 virtual booth for Matrix Labs. If you want to see how these demos work, either throw it in the chat or you can actually join the StreamYard link to be on the stream and actually talk to me. Oh, wow. Wait. Seems like somebody's trying to come in, which is awesome because I don't have anybody to talk to. But it seems like their devices aren't connected yet. You need to at least have video, Liam. You need to at least have your microphone so we can talk. Even if you don't have a camera, I think that's okay. It says devices not connected, so your guests will need to connect their mic or cam before you can add them to the stream. So once you connect a mic or a camera, I can actually add you to the stream and we can have a conversation, and I'll actually be able to hear you. So that would be great. I don't know if you can hear me. Person who's trying to enter the stream. But yeah, you would need to connect a mic or a camera, one of the two. Mic preferred because, we would want to talk. But if it's just a camera that works too, well, both would be best. But anyway, your devices aren't connected, it says. I don't know what to do other than advise to somehow refresh and connect again and see if you're able to connect your mic and camera. Okay. Are you able to refresh and connect a mic or a camera? Well, let me know in the chat if you're having issues, and then maybe I can then help you troubleshoot. Hi, I don't have any mic available. Okay. Do you have a camera without a device? The software. Oh, you can hear me. That's good. So if you have questions, if you want me to show you how this stuff works, let me know, because we can at least chat even if I can't add you to the stream. Basically, the software doesn't let me add you to the stream. But since you can hear me, if you have questions, let me know and I can show you things like with the devices. If you have, so just feel free to engage that way. Thank you for coming on, by the way, and hopefully I can show you something cool. If you would like, you can let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay. Have you ever used Matrix devices? Or are you like a hardware? Have you ever used a Raspberry Pi or hardware like that? I'm just looking. Wait, you can see what's going on? You've got a voice 32? Oh, okay. So you have an ESP32 voice. That's actually what this one is right here. It's an ESP32 voice. It's running standalone. What have you tried with your ESP32 voice? I can actually show you what I'm doing with my ESP32 voice. It's pretty fun. Here, I'm going to share my screen so you can see. Use mine to do voice control. Oh, very cool. What kind of home automation? Okay, so this person that I'm chatting with, for people on the stream who are confused, It has an ESP32 matrix voice, which is this device right here. It's got an ESP32 chip to help it run. Chip right here to help it run standalone. And they use theirs to voice control their home automation, which is awesome. Are you from the Miami area, or where are you tuning in from? Just out of curiosity. London, UK. Okay, that's so cool. I'm actually tuning in from Bangladesh, so our times aren't too far apart. At least not as far apart as the US is right now, which is like 10 a.m. in the US. It's like 8:24 p.m. here. But okay, so let me show you what I'm doing with my. Let's see. I'll just share my entire screen. Allow. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat on my phone so that I can still see what you're saying, and then show you. Oof, recursion. Okay, so what if I did screen and then this number? Okay, so basically what I'm doing on with the Matrix Voice, which you should be able to see right here, the ESP32 version, it's running standalone. And this interface, like that you're seeing on my screen, it's called the Mozilla Web Things Gateway, and it's super cool because you can like control smart home devices through it. I don't know if you're using a specific framework to control, like sort of a UI. Like, are you using Node-RED or something like that? You use the voice to pick up your voice commands and generate webhooks. They then picked up by Node-RED. Okay, yes, a lot of people use Node-RED, so that's super cool. So the Mozilla Web Things Gateway is literally just like a Pi image, and we like download it, you install it, you set it up, and then it's sort of like a running the server on your Pi, and you can. So we have we made an add-on for the Matrix Creator. So for example, if I go to the Matrix Creator, it's a thing. So that's this one right here, and that's actually connected to the Pi. But if I turn on the LEDs, you can see that the LEDs turn on. But what I really like about the Matrix Voice version, it's running standalone right here, and I can control that through the Mozilla Web Things Gateway as well, as if it's a smart light bulb or something like that, just through Wi-Fi. Let's see. So you use voice to pick up your voice commands, generate webhooks. I actually don't know too much about webhooks personally. Okay, I'm going to turn off this bright light. And then they're picked up by Node-RED. I actually haven't tried Node-RED. Whoa. Okay. Haven't tried Node-RED myself, but I really want to because I heard it's like pretty helpful. And they control Sonoff devices through the home. Sonoff. Is that a typo or is that actually a thing? I have to look it up. What is Sonoff? Sonoff device. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's a brand of low-cost Wi-Fi switches. Oh, that's so smart, because Wi-Fi switches means you can basically control anything. You can control like lights, fans. That's super cool. I love that. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. And honestly, £5 sounds very reasonable for a Wi-Fi switch. That's Oh, I have checked these out before. Did you ever post on the community forum, by the way? Because this sounds really familiar. If you posted on the community forum at some point, no? Okay, never mind. I just looked Sonoff up for no reason. Or probably because somebody else mentioned it. But this is so cool. 5-volt wireless USB smart adapter, automate your USB gadgets. Oh, this is so powerful then, because then you have like so many different smart devices, so many different devices you can control. All right, so that's basically like what you can reflash them with Tasmoda. Also something I don't know. Tasmoda. Open source firmware. Oh, this is so cool. For ESP8266 devices, it probably also works with the total control with quick setup and updates control using MQTT. Love MQTT. WI, HTTP or serial. Everything is cloud free. That is great. So yeah, for the Mozilla Web Things Gateway that's running here right now, also cloud free. It's all happening locally just through Wi-Fi. Love cloud free stuff because so much more privacy, right? Especially for home automation, you don't want anybody to be able to just control that. So that makes a lot of sense. This is super cool. I will have to bookmark this for later. Uh, wow. Oh, domotics. Hmm. So many things to try. Well, what happens if your internet goes down? Well, I guess things don't work at that point. What do you do? Do you have an alternative solution? Do you want to be in the dark? No. I mean, I would hope that all these switches also have physical, like, buttons on them. So if your internet goes down, well, yeah. So if your internet goes down, your setup doesn't require the net. Yeah. I mean, but you need a router, right? Even if you don't need the cloud, you probably still need some sort of local area network to be able to talk to everything. So if the power goes out, which I don't think happens a lot in the UK, but it does happen in Bangladesh, that would still be pretty bad. So that you'd still need buttons of some sort. But even if the network is internal, yeah, for sure. Exactly. So if you lose internet connection for whatever reason, maybe your ISP is having issues, for sure, if like everything is local, it doesn't matter. It'll still work. So that's really cool. The other demo I have is like, I don't know if you've used a Raspberry voice assistant, or do you use a voice assistant? Or you said no. You said you take voice commands and convert them into webhooks, and generate webhooks. So you don't use any sort of voice assistant or anything like that. If the power fails, I encourage the hamster to run. Yeah. Um, okay, so let's see. What is this? Whoa. Okay, I'm still sharing my screen, so I'm gonna go back. Um, yeah, but that's definitely true. But this is a voice assistant called Raspy. I don't know if you use you're using any voice assistants for your home automation pipeline, but if you are, Raspy is an offline one as well. Oh, that is the one you're using. Love it. Yeah, Raspy is like something we discovered recently, especially after Snips. I don't know if you know of Snips, but it's like a voice assistant that we used to use a lot. It was offline. We loved it, but then it got acquired, and so now we were like, oh no, what do we do? And then we found Raspy, and it was great because it's also offline. But right now, this one is just running a very simple like work. So this Pi plus voice is running like a workout timer. So if I say here, let's see if the code is running. Let's see, clear CD Raspberry workout timer. Discovered Matrix just as Snips got pulled, so only have used Raspy. Got you. Yeah, I mean Snips was very cool, but Raspy honestly is so user friendly that I think anybody who used Snips really enjoys using Raspy. But yeah, so this Pi right here is running a workout timer where if I say, "Hey Snips," or sorry, it's Raspy. Hey Porcupine, start my workout. Oh no. Oh, I just got my workout. Okay. Hey Porcupine, start my workout. Oh, there we go. And then, so basically what's happening is, I should have connected a speaker. I didn't get around to doing that. But so you basically provided a text file, and the text file has like different workout names and the how long you want to do them. And so this is basically like reciting each workout and then counting down to show you how much time you have left of that workout. Very simple, but honestly, like one of the people who work at Matrix created it, but this is super helpful for me because my sister and I use workout videos to do our workouts, but we're on screens all the time. So it's super nice to be able to have like something that tells you what workout to do and then shows you a timer rather than have to watch a video when you're also doing exercise. Because because we're just on the computer all the time for work, for entertainment. I mean, we've been in full quarantine, so that's why we were like super happy about this little guide. I think, well, at some point, I'm gonna go get a speaker so people can also hear Raspy speaking. It's like a fun robotic voice. But no, I'm super glad to hear that you use a matrix voice. Is there anything? Do you have any questions specifically about the matrix voice, or about the company, or just things that you're working on that you want to share? What are you like? Are you an engineer? I'm just curious. Are you an engineer by profession? Are you like a passionate like maker? Are you a student? Um, just curious about your sort of uh, profession, I guess. Mech engineer by training. Oh, me too. I went to school for mechanical engineering. Okay, so I'm going to stop screen sharing and then do this version again. Okay. Let's see. Are there any comments on the? No. Okay. Mech engineer by training, work in film and TV. Very cool. So I'm curious. Do you think there are any use cases of these kinds of devices in? That's why I don't have cameras at home. That's funny. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I can see how if you're around cameras all the time, you're like, yeah, no, this is my space. Um, no intruder shall see uh, too much of a day job. Oh yeah, too much of a day job. I got you. Um, okay, so that's super cool that you so why did you decide to do your own home automation and not just buy like, I don't know, some Alexa or Google Assistant? Was it because of the cloud or Google Home or the Echo, like all those things where you can like, I think you can do home automation with those as well. I've never tried it. So why did you choose to do it with a matrix device by yourself, like custom? Cloud issues and yeah. What happens when the company behind it all goes? Okay. So you're saying cloud issues when also if it somehow got deprecated, or I mean, I totally see that. Like there have been so many hardware devices that have just been like left unsupported by companies. um yeah, so this, I guess you have liberty to update yourself. So even if there are some deprecated libraries, you can probably update it and figure out a different way to do it. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. Hmm. So I'm curious if, like, when you were setting up your Matrix voice um, to control home automation, do you have it running standalone or do you have it actually sitting on the Raspberry Pi at all times? At the moment, running on the Pi. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that also makes sense. You can run it till you want it to end, not when some company decides to pull the plug. That makes a lot of sense. But I want to move to the ESP32 so I can reduce the power consumption. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think the ESP32 definitely would consume less power, and I guess it also frees up your Raspberry Pi for other projects. Um, yeah. I don't know if you've seen, but there's a community member. His name is Rom Kabouter. I think his real name is Paul Romkis, but basically, like, he created like an audio streamer. So he has like the Matrix OS ESP32 running standalone, um, and it basically sends audio data to an MQTT server, and that server can be on your Pi or your computer, even, I think. And then Raspi catches sort of that voice data through the MQTT server as well, and so that's how you can use it on its own. I don't know if you have seen the guide already, but if you haven't, I can send you a link here. I'll send you a link really quick. What I want to work towards. Okay. Well, here, let me send you the link to our guide that we created based on Paul Romkis's work. Um, oh, actually, the Raspi version of that guide is like, I haven't released it yet. We have the Snips version, but we're actually going to release it this week. So I will post on social media. I don't know if you follow us on social media, but I'll post on social media as soon as that guide is released, and that's basically what you'll be able to do if you follow that guide. Yeah, so basically one of my coworkers sort of took Rom's guide and just specifically for the Matrix Voice ESP32 with Raspi. You don't do any social media, sorry. Yeah, you don't have to have a social media account. You can just go on Twitter and look at our handle to see the link to the guide. But yeah, basically it'll pop up here. I'm going to send you the link to our Hackster page. It'll pop up here. Hackster.io/MatrixSteps Labs. I think I did that right. Yeah. So that's where it'll pop up in the next week or so. I'm impressed that you don't do social media and don't have a camera in your home. That's impressive in this age, I guess. Different hacks, guys, from time to time. I'm glad. I hope you find them helpful. We try our best. But yeah. Yeah, I agree. Social media can definitely be toxic. It really depends on how you engage with it, for sure. But I definitely respect being completely removed from it as well. Um, let's see. For people watching. Oh, okay. So for people who have just hopped on / have no idea why I'm kind of talking to myself, I'm not actually talking to myself. There's somebody who's chatting with me, and I'm talking to them. But basically, the little spiel is you can engage with me on the chat for the YouTube stream, but you can also hop on the StreamYard link and actually have a conversation with me, whether it's through chat or through video, audio. It can be just audio if you just want to talk. But basically, what I'm doing here is whoever's on here and sort of asking, showing demos for Matrix devices that I have right here to show you how it works, some example use cases that I have set up demos for. So yeah, feel free to hop on, chat, have a conversation, whichever. I'm just kind of chilling here till 1 p.m. Eastern time, roughly around then. Yeah, I'm not monologuing, but I would love to engage with anybody watching. Okay. right, I'm gonna mute myself till I get more engagement to know, you know, to hang out / talk to people, so that I'm not just talking to myself. Thank you so much, Video Liam, for hopping on and engaging with me. This was entertaining. And also, I don't know, I mean, if this was helpful for you in any way, but regardless, it was nice. It's always nice talking to people who are in the community and use the devices. It's always interesting to see what the use cases are. Um, but yeah. Also, love how I don't have to leave my house to this virtual booth, and this is like Miami Maker Faire, but there's people from all over the world. Maker Faire Miami. But yeah, so if you haven't, or if you're not, you can actually sign up for Maker Faire Miami. It's free, and they have a bunch of other events as well. Other people exhibiting. So through their like phone app, through this phone app that they're using, you can see other exhibitors. There's some speakers. Um, yeah, some different things you could do as part of the Miami Maker Faire. All right. Let's see. I'm glad. I guess like it is early in the U.S., but it's not so early. It's later in the day for the UK, like European, Asia. So hopefully there are some people who saw that Miami Maker Faire was happening, um, and signed on that are from those areas, because hopefully you're awake and down to engage with somebody giving a private, or sorry, not a private booth, exhibiting a booth, a tech booth at this fair. But yeah, so let's see, background, not too bad. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm here. If you wanna talk, let me know through chat or through joining. Still keeping an eye on everything. Cool. Oh no, you didn't lose audio. I just muted myself because I wasn't sure if you were still. Oh, okay. You are rebooting. That's okay. That's cool. Hello. You did not lose audio actually. I muted myself because I wasn't sure if you were still here. Also, I didn't want to just monologue. I don't know. Oh, can you let me know if there's a lot of background noise when I'm not talking? Because I don't want to keep the mic on if there's a lot of background noise and that's all people hear when I'm not talking. I'm gonna be quiet for a second so you can answer that if you can hear. Not too bad. Okay, so there's definitely a little bit of background noise because of the fan in the background. Yeah. Oh, you hear traffic too. Oh my God, I even closed the windows. But it's okay. If it's a little bit of traffic, hopefully it doesn't like burst anybody's eardrums. Um, Not too bad. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So curious, how did you find out about the stream? Are you attending Maker Faire Miami as well? Spotted on YouTube. Oh, that means are you subscribed to our channel? That makes me happy if you are. Okay, that's awesome. I love that. But okay, yeah, that's great. I guess in the description I should also put the link to if anybody wants to sign up for Miami Maker Faire, because that's also a cool thing that's happening. Let me do that right now. Miami Maker Faire, Miami. Oh, here. Because it is free, so if you're not doing anything, I used some of your tutorials to get up and running. Your efforts had results. Oh, you mean oh, okay, that's good to know. So you mean the Hackster guides? So that helped a little bit to get your thing up and running. That's really cool. I really need to look into webhooks because I like sort of know what they are, but not really. Okay, so is that webhooks, web development, method of augmenting, custom callbacks? So is it in JavaScript? What is this? HTTP requests and webhooks. So if you're doing it through Raspberry, you're basically getting the audio data from the Matrix voice and then through webhooks sending like intent to Node-RED. Is that kind of what it is? Not quite. Okay. Yeah. Run Raspberry and the index.js. Okay. That index.js does the webhook stuff. Oh, okay. And then Node-RED picks up that webhook stuff. Then Node-RED listens to the webhooks. Okay. That makes sense. All right, let's see. If you would like to sign up for Maker Faire Miami for free, click here. Save changes. From that, Node-RED does all the work. Okay. I really have to check out Node-RED. I think it's similar to Mozilla IoT Gateway. Like it's basically like a UI where you can add different smart devices and things like that, right? Difficult to describe it. Yeah, it probably has a lot of components. I'll definitely look it up, but I think it would be worth checking out for home automation, right? Because the Mozilla Web Things Gateway was so much fun to play with. It can work with loads of IoT related stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I also heard Node-RED can be used to like create sort of macro level algorithm type stuff. Like if you were to do sorting, you can create a node for that or things like that, which is also really nice. Okay. And with a few Java commands can do logical sorting of the response. That's really cool. So is it is it Java based, or seeing if I can bring up some screenshots? Yeah, that would be cool. I wonder if you're able to share screenshots in. Oh well, I wish the stream service that I'm using was allowed me to add you, because then you would be able to share your screen, if you would even want to. But oh, add to stream. Wait. Hello. Somebody has joined me. It is my sister. How are you?
I'm
Would you like
great.
to
How are you?
I'm great. So happy to see you here. I'm chatting with someone, or like somebody's chatting with me on the chat, and that's why I'm talking. I'm not talking to myself, I promise. But now you are also live, so just letting you know. Whatever you say here will be on YouTube forever. But but anyway, do you have any questions about Matrix devices? What are you up to? Would you be using any of these in your life? Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning more about your workout stuff.
The workout timer, you would use that?
Yeah.
FYI, all the stream peeps, this is my sister. um, so we're in the same household right now, but she's in a different area. Thank you so much for humoring me and coming on and engaging. There's only one other person that is on here, but they don't have a camera in their home or a mic, and so they're chatting and asking questions. So it looks like I'm talking to myself, but I'm actually not. But I am reading out their responses. So if anybody watches this later, they should know that I'm not talking to myself. I'm not monologuing. So did you see my Facebook post? Is that why you came on? How you came on?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's good. I'm glad. That means people will maybe see the Facebook post. I guess it's kind of early in the US, so right now, especially since it's a Sunday, there aren't that many people watching, but there's this person who's talking to me on the chat who's from the UK, joining in from the UK. So it's not too late there. I mean, it's not too early there.
All right.
But yeah.
Are
Are you gonna hop off now?
Yeah. I just wanted to see what's happening and say hi.
Yeah, thank you for joining. I really appreciate the support.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That was fun. Okay. So how do I go back to where I was? Yes, this is how I was. Okay. Comments. No comments so far. Chat. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if the chat will let you send screenshots. Unfortunate. Let's see. Whoa. I guess I'll have this and then mute the timer. It sounded like somebody was trying to come on, but then I lost the person. Okay, let's see. Sorry, dropped off trying a few things. Okay, got you. I really appreciate you being on here and chatting with me at all, or else I'd be pretty much doing nothing on a live stream. So I appreciate your engagement either way. Yeah. I guess the next thing, if there's like a way for me to give feedback on this software that I'm using to broadcast, it's really cool, but it's called StreamYard. But I'm probably going to give them the feedback of allowing people who don't have a mic or camera to enter the stream and at least share their screen, because that's still a way of engaging. Like, it doesn't have to be mic or camera, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's definitely going to be my feedback to StreamYard. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see. How's the phone doing? All right. Too many barriers to make the screen share work well. Yeah, well, it doesn't work for this software in general, but because I'm just not able to add you at all to this like stream that would eventually go to YouTube. But at least I can chat, so I'm glad that there's at least one way to engage. But yeah, no, I'll definitely check out Node-RED. I'm putting that on my list of things to sort of learn or look at. I mean, I guess there'll be more time now. Let's see. It takes a little getting used to. What, the screen sharing? Or what are you talking about? Node-RED. Oh, sorry, my brain is. I should have figured, but yeah, Node-RED. Okay, yeah, it's worth the effort. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Flow-based development tool for visual programming. Maybe I should be sharing my screen the whole time. The only reason I'm not is because so these people can see something happening other than just me talking. I just don't have a second screen, or else I'd be able to like put my broadcasting stuff aside. Let's see, share screen, select window. Why can't I select a different window? Oh, I know why. Okay, I see what's going on, I think. Maybe if I move this here, I'll be able to share this window. Let's see. Okay, share screen. No. Share screen. Your browser has blocked your screen. Allow access to reload the page. No. Wait, I don't want to block it. Okay. Share screen. Yes! Okay, so I can do that. Okay. So I think... Oh, I love this. Okay. Why did I not figure this out before? This is much better. Let's see. So that way I can have my screen sharing, the devices sharing. and also. So then I can look up all this stuff and it'll be on the stream. So people that are watching, whoops. Tasmoda is something that I have never used that I want to check out in the future because it looks super cool, local controlled, picks up some updates using MQTT, WebUI, HTTP, or Serial, introduced to me by this person I'm chatting with from London, UK. Super cool. He has they have an ESP32 matrix voice, and they use it for home automation. And they also introduced, not introduced, I've heard of Node-RED before, but they use Node-RED for their sort of home automation system. I have dark mode on. Let's get that off. Okay, so Node-RED has a lot of different aspects to it. I don't know as much about it. I'm definitely new and I want to learn it. But from the person I'm talking to on the chat, it is worth the effort to learn. So yeah, you should definitely check it out. And they also use Sonoff Wi-Fi switches, and that's how they control the rest of their house, which is super cool. And it seemed to be £5. It seemed to be like pretty inexpensive, given the coolness of the technology. So yeah, so many things to look into later. All right. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad, but I'm gonna go a little quiet again. And look around. What's going on? Using the Sonoff gives you a cheap hardware build when it comes to main electricity. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, like probably doing this yourself using like Sonoff Wi-Fi switches and like doing your own home automation with Sonoff Wi-Fi switches, a Matrix Voice, a Raspberry Pi, probably costs a lot less. They're tidy devices. Yeah, they look tidy, the Sonoff devices. But yeah, probably using all of that maker hardware or like developer hardware costs a lot less than, I don't even know what other, like say like the proprietary home automation stuff or using other like proprietary sort of ready-made home automation kits, things like that. Probably costs a lot less. Also, like this friend I'm talking or person I'm talking to on the chat is saying, like, you don't have the uncertainty of a random brand deciding they want to stop their product, and you also don't necessarily have to connect to the cloud because all this stuff can run locally, and that's more private, like privacy focused. Okay, so friend on chat says Alexa smart switch come in about £20 in the UK. And so that's like a switch that has Alexa built into it. Like the switch, you can voice control the switch. I think I've heard of this before, but I actually have never used. But I assume that's what it is. But so I mean, £5 in comparison, and you have your own local custom implementation. So definitely seems a lot more valuable. If only Alexa firmware loaded, you still need the Alexa device. So you still need an Echo, which is probably like, I mean, I think it's $50 US, which I mean in pounds would be maybe like 40. I don't know, just making that up. But yeah, so still cheaper. All right. But then you are tied to the Alexa ecosystem. It's true. Yeah. And then if you have Maker hardware, you can use Node-RED, you can use Mozilla IoT Gateway, you can use Hass.io. I think that's another one. There's so many different home automation options. that you have when you're doing it yourself that you can choose between? Hmm. The Sonoff devices are Alexa ready out of the box, but I load up the Tasmota firmware to keep it in-house. Oh, wait, so the 5-pound Wi-Fi switches, like those have Alexa built into it already? Or basically if you had an Echo. Oh, okay, so if you had an Echo, an Amazon Echo, you would very easily be able to control the Sonoff device is what you're saying. Um, is the Sonoff device built to sort of is the Sonoff device built to easily be able to change the firmware, but have to go through their gateway? Okay, so basically you're saying if you had an Amazon Echo, you have to. So yeah, if you had an Amazon Echo and you wanted to control the Sonoff device, you would have to go through the cloud, for sure. Yeah. So how easy is it to load up a different firmware on your Sonoff Wi-Fi switch? Like, did you have to hack it a little bit, or do they have a really easy system to do it? Reflashing takes a little bit of hacking. You open it up, connect an FTDI adapter, and reflash it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. That's not too bad. FTDIs are really cheap, and it's all in your domain. Yeah, I think that's really like most people probably wouldn't want to open up their Wi-Fi switch that they bought, but if if it's as simple as connecting an FTDI once you open it up, it's not so bad. Like people should definitely. That sounds like a great solution. In our office, we had the Matrix voice controlling the lights, and what one of my coworkers did was literally. Sonos devices are basically ESP8266s with relays. That's what you're saying. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's so funny. That is so funny. That makes a lot of sense. That's probably why they're so cheap. Because that's definitely not hard to make. But yeah, so what one of my coworkers did was he literally ripped out the wall switch, and just used the relay, connected it to like the Matrix Voice GPIO to be able to voice control it, yes, on or off, and the relay is connected to the mains power, and either letting it through or not through, which is obviously like way more dangerous than opening up a Sonoff thing. So that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, opening up a Sonoff Wi-Fi chip. Let's see. Switches, yes. Make fully finished light wall switches. That's really cool. Yeah, I assume they can ship to the US as well for people that would be watching from the US. But yeah, so there's 4 people watching the stream now. Wow. If you would like to speak, you can join using the StreamYard link. And this is basically a booth to show you how to use Matrix devices, or just have techie conversations. I'm just having an interesting conversation about home automation with someone who's, talking to me over chat. So if you don't have or don't want to do audio video, you can also just chat and let me know if you have questions, if you, want to have a discussion. I'm having a great discussion with somebody over chat right here, so you can also chat. Okay, so no 240, 100 volt messing around. Yeah, that's true. Because in the US it's like 120. I don't know. Is it 240 in the UK? It's 240 in Bangladesh. I'm pretty sure most of Asia is probably 240 volts. But yeah, let's see. Whoa. 240 in UK. We do have an imperial legacy. Yeah, we definitely got that from the British, no doubt. Okay. So wow, it's been an hour. I've been live streaming and I luckily have not been alone and monologuing, even though to any random person who's popping up on the stream, it may look like I'm monologuing. I did monologue for the first 15 minutes, but now I have a friend on chat who, is helping me sustain conversation about home automation, showed some Matrix stuff in the beginning. So if you want to see the Matrix demos, let me know. And you can always hop on chat because that is also a great way to engage. So I don't have to read my Kindle, which is also here for emergency reasons. Okay. Let's see. Oops. I forget that I'm live. Singing to myself means that everybody can hear me. This will be... Okay. Only a couple more hours. It's 9:16 p.m. where I am right now in Dhaka, Bangladesh. So I'll either be having a really late dinner or I might eat dinner with my video off or something. But I'm still here to answer questions and show you all video demos if you ask in the comments. What are the plans going forward for the Matrix? I love that you call it the Matrix. So going forward, we are definitely working on newer iterations of the boards and obviously continuously trying to improve the software, include more layers of abstraction, improving the software that already exists. So that's always continuously happening. Future, we're definitely working on newer iterations for boards. We're working on newer ideas, technologies that I'm not allowed to speak about yet, that would basically facilitate AIoT, AI and IoT development. So those are things we're working on in the background in parallel with just continuously trying to support these hardware pieces and do different integrations with third-party AIoT. Yeah, AIoT. It's a term I heard relatively recently as well, but it's basically a mishmash of AI and IoT. So AI plus IoT is AIoT. But yeah, so that's basically what we're planning on for the future, and I'm really excited about where it goes in the next few months. We're actually raising a seed round right now because we're a small company, so we're raising a seed round to help us continue with our developments for the future. So we'll see how that goes, and then if that goes well, we'll definitely have a lot more. Running that on the FPGA, yeah, we definitely want to do a lot more with the FPGA. So right now, the Matrix Voice has like a Spartan 6 FPGA. And there's a lot you can do with FPGAs, right? We basically released a guide earlier, like a few months ago, where you could run a RISC-V SoC on the FPGA. We definitely want to build out that guide more, where you can like easily program different scripts running on that on the RISC-V SoC on the FPGA. That's super cool. But yeah, so definitely we want to do a lot more with FPGA. We're still working on. Please do. I want to dive deeper into FPGA. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of our guides. We definitely like, for example, I personally am kind of new to FPGAs. I've learned a lot since coming to this company, but I'm still still a noob. So FPGA wise, like when I was just learning, I created a guide on like how to, because our FPGA code is open source, so on how to like make slight modifications to our existing code, and how to compile and flash the FPGA firmware. So there's a guide on that for that on Hackster as well. And then the other one that we released is the one where you do where you can like load the RISC-V system on system on chip soft core on the Matrix Voice FPGA right here, and that's also a really cool one. Like I would recommend trying that guide out if you want to get started with something really cool on FPGA. There's definitely a lot more we want to be able to do with that. We want to be able to like, okay, like you have a Python script that you want to run on that soft core. How can we figure out a way to very easily allow you to do that? That's also a guide we want to work on. But yeah, so I mean, we continuously just want to make it easier for people to access more and more complex parts of these technologies. Like the whole idea of these boards is so people can like take development into their own hands easily. So we're trying. We're working on that. If you have, so I'm glad to hear that you have interest in FPGA because that's like another validation point. If you have other things that you think, which is what I like trying to do, yeah. If you have other things that you think we like, just you personally think would be helpful for developers such as yourself, let us know, because I mean, we always just want to get more feedback to see if what we're doing lines up, with what people want and what they're developing. So yeah, let us know. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. Comments, private chat. Let's see if we got any people checking out. All right. So I don't know if the UK is still in quarantine, but working in film and TV has that been from home for you, or are you still going out and filming sometimes. Also, if that's too personal a question, you don't have to answer. No, not too personal. Okay. Ah, got you. Yeah. But things are starting to pick up. That's good to hear. That is very good to hear. As an engineering and background staff these days. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're probably like doing a lot of like the tech in the background. Been a while since I was last on set. Yeah. I wonder, like, I was wondering how new things were coming out. Like, I was seeing, I don't know, there's still some movies and shows coming out. And I was like, are these things that were shot before? Or are they actually shooting? But have done sound for a few minor films and tech managed some TV series. That's cool. Okay. So they are probably there are probably still some shooting like movie shoot film and TV series shootings going on. Um, so that's good. That is good. Hmm. A lot of commercial shots. Was that like ads or like that's what you mean by commercial? Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Not too bad. Almost an hour and a half. Had engagement. Virtual booths are interesting. I was wondering how it would be doing a virtual booth. I mean, I guess in person a lot of the times at least like you have that aspect where somebody's walking by your booth and there's eye contact. Here, I can sometimes see people are like coming on the stream because like it's showing me how many people are watching. Sometimes it's becoming 4 people are watching. Sometimes it's becoming 3 people are watching, but I can't make eye contact with the person and say, "Hey, like, come join the stream and chat," or something like that. Oh, there are 2 chats. What? What? That is not cool. Um, don't know what you're talking about, but anyway. Regardless, let's see. But I can confirm a new series of. I have no idea what that is either. What is? Let me Google that. Huh. Um. No idea. Is this a? I guess it's a British show. I would assume. I don't know. I guess you can film anywhere for anything. The only way is Essex. Oh, that's what it is. Soap opera, part reality show. I see. That's cool. No one is watching. Yeah, no one is watching right now. The whole idea is that this is a virtual booth for people to stop by and ask questions. And if they ask questions, then I show them what's going on. So if you want to see what's going on, ask questions. Otherwise, you are free to move along with your day. That sort of thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Wait. Wait. All right. So, given that given that it seems like it's kind of slow right now, well, because of the time, I am actually probably gonna go. Well, the stream will be running, and I'll be keeping an eye on it for if anybody is joining to watch or like wants to see demos for like the Matrix devices. But otherwise, I'm probably gonna also turn off my video and eat dinner. Cool. Thank you for joining and for keeping me, engaged through the 1.5 hours that I have been here at this virtual booth. It's an interesting experience. At least it's something different. But yeah, thank you for keeping me company. I'll still be here. And I'll answer any questions anybody has about the devices or about the company. Thank you for asking questions and for having a conversation with me about home automation. Friend on chat. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I might be able to run a video in the background while I'm taking a little break. Let's see. Video. I can probably upload a demo video. Let's see. Okay. What demo can I put on that people can see while I'm gone? Matrix robots, it's a fun one. Maybe I'll put that one on. Okay, I'll put that one on. So matrix, creator, robots. Let's see, banners. How do I do this? Settings. Whoop, that's not what I want. Comments. Brand. Okay, here it is. Upload video. Robots. So uploading a video of different robots that we know have been created with our devices that can play while I take a little break. Ashi. Let's see. It's uploading. Oh, okay. I wonder if I can loop it. Well, either way. Eat well, stay safe. Thank you. You as well. You as well. Okay. So I think I can do this.
Etcher IO. So what this software does is you can flash micro SD cards easy without even thinking about it. So for right now, we'll download it here. So just wait a couple seconds for that. And you're also going to want to download the Raspberry Stretch operating system. So this is the OS that's going to run on the Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Stretch, see right here, go to the downloads. Once you get to the downloads page, you'll have two versions to select from. You can either choose the desktop or light version. For this episode, we'll be using the desktop version. So I suggest you follow along with that one. Just download it as well. I'm going to cancel the download though because we have it downloaded offhand. So just see how that looks. So once you have both the Raspberry Stretch desktop version downloaded and Etcher, you're going to want to install Etcher. Make sure that's going through. It'll take like a good minute. Then once that's set up, you're going to be prompted to it'll automatically read your micro SD card inserted to the computer, and it's also going to allow you to drag and drop the Raspberry Stretch OS. So right here on the left, I have it loaded, ready to go. So right there, Stretch opened up. First thing you notice is on the center, right around here, you're going to notice the micro SD card's loaded. So all you have to do is grab the Raspberry Stretch desktop image, drag and drop, and then just a flash. Yes. There we go. So now, this is going to take generally like 15 minutes. We already have an SD card prepared, so I can just cancel it right here. But just to show you how the menu looks. So yes, quit. And once it's done, you can just eject the USB. It's fine. Once Etcher is done flashing your micro SD card, you can just pull it out and you're good to go. So right now, we're going to switch back over and go over to the Pi. So right here, once it's done flashing, just eject. And then what you're going to want to do is get your Raspberry Pi and insert the micro SD card with Raspberry Stretch not flashed on it. Now that it's flashed, you're going to also want to attach the monitor to your Raspberry Pi before turning it on. This just makes sure that this is just to ensure that the screen is rendered properly. Then you can insert the power supply, and your Raspberry Pi is on. So now with that on, we are going to go into the Raspberry Stretch desktop view to show you what to do from there to make sure you connect to Wi-Fi and to enable SSH. So let me set that up right. Okay, so this is what you would see once you load up the Raspberry Pi on the desktop. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. What you're going to want to do initially is right here on the top right, you're going to want to hit the Wi-Fi and connect to yours. This is necessary for all the steps we're going to do. So right here, we connected to our Wi-Fi. This was done beforehand. And then what you want to also do is enable SSH. This is to allow you to remotely log into the Raspberry Pi from a different computer. So on the top left, you can open the Raspberry Pi icon, go to Preferences, and Raspberry Pi Configuration. Once you get Raspberry Pi Configuration, you're going to want to go over to Interfaces and look for the SSH section. You're going to make sure that's enabled. If it's disabled, just hit Enabled and you should be good to go. Hit OK. And one more step. We have the Wi-Fi, SSH. Oh, yeah, and the SSH, you're also going to need the IP address of your Raspberry Pi. So to get that, it's super simple. There is a script on the Raspberry Pi that allows you to output the IP address. So open up the terminal with that little icon on the top left right there. And you're going to want to hit sudo /etc/rc local. You hit enter, and your IP address will be printed out. So now you're going to want to record those numbers for what we're going to do next. Right now, I'm going to just have it go back over. Okay, so let me load up back to our Windows view. Okay, so now that we're back on our Windows view, what you're going to want to do is go to the search and open up PowerShell. Now, if you're on Mac or Linux, you can follow along as well. To show you the same thing, you can just hop on here, type in terminal on Mac or Linux, hit enter, and you can follow along with the same commands. So, move back to the Windows 10. Okay, let me zoom in to make it a bit easier. So what you want to do is type in SSH Pi at 192. The IP address of your Pi. Type in yes if it asks you to verify this is what you want to connect to. And then the password, the default password for the Raspberry Pi is Raspberry, so that's RASPBERRY. And if you're prompted for the username, which you can see right here, it's Pi, P-I. So hit enter. Make sure. There we go. Okay, let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so right here, this is the terminal of the Raspberry Pi. So all the commands we do here are running on the Raspberry Pi. So you could also do this just to show you on the Mac side, you can do the exact same thing. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. The exact same commands. You can do this from any computer that supports this stage. Now, this is for Windows 10. For Windows 8 and 7 users, you're going to have to download a software called PuTTY. And this is essentially a UI to let you SSH into another device. So just to show you the website, PuTTY download. Right here. It's this logo right here. It's 2 computers with a lightning bolt in the middle. Just go to download. You're going to have to look up a little bit on how to set that up yourself, but it's relatively straightforward and shouldn't be too different once you get the hang of it. So back into here. So now that you're logged into the Raspberry Pi, we can actually look at installing the Matrix software that you need. Okay. So what you're going to do is open your web browser and head over to docs.matrix.1. And once inside, we're going to go over exactly what we're installing. So initially, when you go into the docs, you're going to be greeted by the Matrix ecosystem overview. From there, we'll just explain our objective to make hardware easy to people that program, because generally setting up hardware and programming at the same time takes a lot of setup, a lot of requirement, and our goal is to simplify that as much as we can. So to start off, we have 3 different programming layers for you to use. The highest level layer is called Matrix Open System, or MOS for short. And from there on, it's a IoT layer that requires internet connection, but you have access to our dashboard and other features that we're allowing the users to access. Below that is another layer called Matrix Core, which is an abstraction layer that allows you to program in over 40 different languages. It does this through Google's protocol buffers. However, we have our examples and already compiled libraries in JavaScript and Python if you use those languages and you'd like to follow along with. And for this video, we'll be showing you how to install Matrix Home. This is the lowest level layer we provide, and you can program this in C++, which is pretty similar to Arduino programming if you have an experience with that. So from there on, just read more about Matrix Home, and you move in. So immediately, you'll notice all of the overview of the HAL website, and just over there, just getting started. And for beginners that are just starting with this, we recommend installing all of the HAL dependencies from the package. Hit package, and from there, it's as simple as just copying the commands and just inserting them to your Pi. So right here, just hit on the top right of the little coding, say copy, and then go back into your Pi, and be able to there you go. So one at a time, just copy and paste each section of these code blocks, and in no time, your device should be set up and ready to go. So right now we did the first block, let's do the second block right now. This is just updating all of the Raspberry Pi packages, and as well as adding all the Matrix packages to the list of known packages for the Raspberry Pi. So this allows us to install everything. So now we've already updated the Raspberry Pi, and this is normally about like a 15-minute process. If any errors do occur, we recommend updating and upgrading again, and rerunning any commands that you see that aren't completely installed. So right there, let's install the Matrix packages. There. And then the last command would be to reboot. And once you reboot, you're going to be kicked out of your session and wait about a minute or 2 for it to fully reboot, and you can log back into the Raspberry Pi. So with all that, Matrix HAL is now installed on the Raspberry Pi. So what you're going to also want to do, as a once we left the desktop view for the Raspberry Pi, you can disconnect the HDMI monitor. You're not going to need the visual desktop view, but you're free to use it if you So let's see if the Raspberry Pi came back. Yep, back online. All right. Now, just adjust some stuff here, and then let's look over everything. You can see the Raspberry Pi. Okay. So right now what you should have is just the Raspberry Pi with a power supply, and it should just be running here. The Matrix voice would also work as this. We're just having it here, so you know you can use both. But this process works for either one. So now, once you have the dependencies installed, we're going to test if everything works. So if you scroll down to next steps, you can see your how to compile a Hello World program. So right here, again, simple as just copying the commands. We're just going to make a simple project directory. Just paste that in there. Copy. And little technical issues here. I'm just unsure that this is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I have to right click for PowerShell. Also for copying and pasting in PowerShell, at least for pasting, you're going to want to right click. So you normally should work. There we go. Little buggy there. And what this does, the first command is it creates a directory for you. So once you have that, just you're going to want to create a sample app called the Hello World or app.cpp, which is short for C++. So right now, just type in nano and then app.cpp. So just to show you what that looks like, right there. Pretty straightforward. Once you hit enter, you'll be inside a terminal editor. So after that, you're just gonna scroll down here to the app.cpp. So this entire code block is the hello world for Helm. So you can just copy that. And then once it's copied, go back into your terminal and right click to paste everything there. Once everything's pasted, you're gonna wanna hold Control and X and then press enter. Oh, sorry. You want to hold Control X, press Y, and then enter. So now, to show everything, you can type in ls. It'll list everything in this directory we're in, and we're inside the matrix file directory. So right there, we've already made app.cpp, so you can see that right there. And all that's left is to run it, and if it works, you're good to go. So just type in, if you scroll down a little past here, give it a good second. There we go. You're going to see a G++ command. So what this is going to do is it's going to compile the program we just made. So just type that in there. Give it a second. All right, now it's compiled. If you type in ls, you'll see that now there's the app.cpp file we made and the compiled app file. So all that's left to do is type in /app. And from there, you can see the matrix creator is doing a rainbow hello world from Helm. And that should be it. You can follow along for everything should be straightforward for you to follow, whether you're using MOS, Core, or Helm. And that's it. That's all you need. We have our entire, from the matrix house side and all the entire navigation on the left side. You can see all we have getting started, all the references to our libraries, as well as links to our community. So you can go there and ask for any kind of help you need. And that would be that's all you need to know.
Yeah, so thank you, Carlos. That was great. So yeah, that was, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the YouTube, the live chat. But for now, we'll be just talking, while we wait for your questions. I guess I could kind of tell you about what our plans are for future live streams. So after this one, we plan on having, getting started with how, Carlos showed you the first example, and we'll go over a little bit more, and then maybe also go over core, and then just do different kinds of projects. So I guess
just end it off. Next week we'll be releasing a new projects tab on our community website, and if you can just switch over to my computer, I can show it to you. So just to show you the community page, you can just go to your browser and type in community.matrix.one, and from there you'll be redirected to our Matrix community page. And right here you can post any kind of general questions or help in troubleshooting that you might need or might encounter. And next week we're adding a projects tab for you to post your own projects if you want to add in just to show what you've done or to let people copy what you've made. And we'll also be posting our own projects, so you can follow along with that as well. And we'll be coming with the coming weeks. We'll be putting out a lot more content for what you can do with your Matrix device, as well as how to use our libraries and how to integrate it with different services, such as local voice assistant. We already have guides on Alexa, Google Assistant, and we'll be sure to replicate it here so you know exactly what to do.
Yeah, so I guess we'll take questions. All right, so looks like we don't have any questions, but that's okay. Yeah, so always feel free to post on our community. Yeah, so that's about it, yeah.
Well,
all right, cool. Wait, it seems like there might be a question. Can you explain the differences between MOS, HAL, and Core, and why I might want to use one over the other?
Okay, yeah, that's an easy one to go for. So let's go to the documentation right now, and just give you a brief overview of all the layers. So Matrix OS, you want to use that layer for beginners. What Matrix OS allows for, even though it requires an internet connection, you're allowed to do in one line. You can just edit all the LEDs on the Matrix device, and requires very little programming knowledge to build on. So very good for just beginners and for tinkering around with IoT. And if you scroll down, Matrix Core. Now, for Matrix Core, this doesn't depend on our services. So it means you're completely offline. You can do whatever you want, and you can also program in JavaScript or Python, as well as the other languages that support Google's protocol buffers. And what this allows for is, with your own language, integrate whatever kind of service, anything you want to make with your preferred language of JavaScript or Python. And for Matrix HAL, which is in C++, that's if you want to be closer to the hardware. And if you're comfortable with Arduinos, this would be a fantastic place to start. And in general, it's really up to personal preference on what you want to use. Each of these our goal is to make each of these as powerful as the one above and below it. And what we want it to come down to is personal preference.
All right, yeah, looks like we have one more question. Where can I find guides and projects that you've made? Great question. Right now they're on Hackster. So yeah, Carlos will navigate to Hackster. It's got, we have our own page there. Maybe just to. All right. Well, interesting. I thought you could see it without having to log in. Either way, it's hackster.io/matrixlabs.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
So right here, if you look in, we have you can see all the projects we already have, as well as tutorials on how to set each of these up. So most recently, we added how to set up the IR receiver and emitter from the Matrix Creator on how to control your TV. So say you enable that, you can build on that and combine it with any kind of service you want, whether you want to make an IoT remote, anything like that. And that's what our goal here for the projects are, on how to set up specific projects and how to build on them after. So next to it we have Sphinx AI, which is an offline voice assistant that allows you to make your own apps. And so, we also have the Google Assistant and Alexa guides on here as well. And we've also described whether it's compatible with the Matrix Voice and Matrix Creator. So if you have either one, you will find a project you can follow.
Yeah. All right.
That looks like all the comments we have for this week.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So we'll see you on our next live stream, hopefully 2 weeks from now.
We'll be going over Matrix HAL and just the base of how to use the library.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
All right.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Awesome. Well, now we want to go into HAL, actually, which was a great transition there.
Yeah.
So now we're going to basically show you how to install HAL onto your Raspberry Pi with a Matrix Creator or Matrix Voice. We're going to go into some examples that we have on our documentation, and then we're going to live code a very simple app for you. So now I guess you can switch the screens.
Yes, I will do that.
And basically, we're going to start off already SSH, or we're going to SSH into the Raspberry Pi. If you don't know what SSH is, or prefer to use a desktop, I suggest you look at our previous video where we go over how to use SSH, or just how to set up your Raspberry Pi and Matrix Creator on the desktop and with SSH. So from there, you can continue on here.
Hey all, I'm back. Wow. Okay, how do I, let's see. All right, so the way this works is you can tell me on the chat or join the stream. I can also keep the videos playing, I guess, while people are waiting. Okay. Oops. How did this? How is this? Okay, there we go. Hello. Wow, it's still happening. This is not good. Hello. Hello. Oh. All right, this might be better. Wow, it's not. Hello. Okay. This is better. So now I should be able to have the camera and also not double here. Wait, that's too much. view. Okay. That works. All right. All right, everyone. I'm back. Basically, what we're doing is this is a booth for Miami Maker Faire, and what we're doing here is exhibiting Matrix device demos using the Matrix Creator, the Matrix Voice right here, and the idea is that you can engage with me through the comments or through the private chat in the StreamYard link. You can also join the StreamYard link and chat with me via voice, up to you. I'll be here for about 45 more minutes. So yeah, feel free to hop on, have a conversation with me about tech stuff, or just ask me about like Matrix Labs, the company, Matrix devices. I can tell you about that. This is being streamed to YouTube, so if you joined the StreamYard, you would be live going to YouTube. But yeah, that's basically this is a virtual booth for Miami Maker Faire, or Maker Faire Miami. But because it's virtual, it can basically work for you wherever you are, which is good. So yeah, so what I'm thinking I might do while I'm waiting for people so that it's not boring is continue those live streams that we have running in the background. I think yeah, I'll just have it running.
Yeah, so the last video, which was episode 101, setting up your Matrix device, Carlos went over how to, like, kind of like the docs, which is just go to Matrix, or I'll put it right now, docs.matrix.1, and that's pretty much like all of our documentation. It's very well documented, has each layer. So there's Moss, Core, and Hell, and obviously how we're gonna go in there and
how is our lowest layers? The closest you get to the board, well, unless you want to go into the FPGA, but that's a completely different beast in itself. And how to program it all in C++. Like what Sean and Connor were saying, it's very similar to Arduino, and we've extracted things out like the IMU, the Everloop, all the LEDs, the microphones, and just all the other sensors and components.
Exactly. So HAL, C++, like you said. Actually, I also coded in Arduino primarily before, getting introduced to the Matrix Creator, and I first started in HAL as well. It actually was a easier transition for me since HAL is also in C++. So for installing, we're just going to do a package, and so let's SSH into the Pi. So the command is pretty simple. It's also you can figure out your IP address for your Pi by like plugging it into a monitor, or
yeah, you can find out more information on that on our previous live stream episode 101.
Yeah, so we know our Pi's IP, so I'm gonna go ahead and SSH. There we are. We're gonna set up Pi, which is awesome. So all I have to do for here, which is super nice, is copy and
at the top of each of the code boxes, you have a button that will pop up, so you can very easily copy it. The first command is basically setting keys, so the libraries to reference in order to download the libraries. And then now we're just going to have to get update and upgrade so that we can download our libraries and update the Raspberry. So this will take about a minute. It's not much. It's megabytes of that with the files. And this has all of the base libraries needed for the Raspberry Pi to communicate with Matrix Creator and then for to program it in. So now it's just an upgrade part. I want to press Y to continue. And we'll just work with that. And then after this, we're going to do sudo apt-get install, and that is basically going to install our libraries. Yeah, so let's give that a second there.
In the meantime, do you want to talk about any projects and how that we know of, or I guess the grandfather clock is one of
Yeah, the grandfather clock's amazing. One cool project that I actually was working on a while ago, which you can actually it's I was trying to make a drone. So this is a drone. It's controlled by a matrix creator on the bottom. I have a Pi camera here because I wanted to. We're based out of Miami, so I wanted to fly over some areas, beach or the waters, areas where there's not people at the moment, just to take some cool pictures and aerials for like a screensaver or something. And just that drone is super fun. So didn't get to finish it. I tried to implement like the flight controller for the drone, which is what handles all the math to stabilize it on the FPGA, which was more difficult than I thought. But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool project, and I've heard from several people that they too want to make a drone, and they're trying to make a drone. There's a university in Columbia actually that was making a drone, and we have videoed that on our website. And this past weekend, actually, we went to a hackathon. It's a Major League Hacking hackathon called Shell Hacks here at Florida International University, FIU, in Miami. And at the hackathon, there were like 700 people there, all like creating various projects. We were there. We were one of the sponsors at the table, talking to people, showing them our robot arm demo, and then we sponsored them by giving them 10 hardware kits with Matrix Creator, Raspberry Pi, SD card, power supply, basically everything they need so that they can just make some cool project with the Matrix Creator. And they had 36 hours to make these projects, and we had a prize where the team made the coolest project. Each team member would receive a Matrix Creator. So we had some cool projects. One project, which unfortunately they didn't finish, but it was basically they had a robot that was they were trying to get it controlled through the Matrix Creator. They didn't have enough time to finish, but a robot controlled through with a fish. So they bought a little like black goldfish. They had it on top of the robot, and then they had two paddles so that the goldfish, when goldfish normally like to like hit the walls and retain their net. So when it would hit the forward paddle or the backward paddle, the robot would slowly move forward or slowly move backward. And then they were also using the Matrix Creator as like lights in order to train the fish, because apparently goldfish can train lights. I have no idea.
I didn't really know that either.
Yeah,
but somebody was telling me that goldfish, especially the black kind that we had, are blind. So, like, they apparently that's why they bump into the walls, and that's why, like, for their application, we were trying to get like it bumping into things and then using that flex sensor as the control for the motors. Like that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just such an amazing concept. I wish that they would have finished it. But,
It was a cool concept, but I definitely felt kind of sad for the fish. The fish was, I definitely felt sad for the fish.
Yeah, I think they were. I think they kept the fish like up with them overnight, so
Yeah.
I think they much sleep over the
I think I
hackathon.
was asleep, yeah.
But it was an amazing concept. And then the team that actually won our challenge, they basically made this kiosk using Matrix Creator, a Raspberry Pi, camera. And the point of the kiosk is so that, let's say you are in trouble with, let's say, like a human trafficking type scenario or anything else. You go up to the kiosk, speak, tell it like the name, say help or whatever, in whatever language. So English, Spanish, they had a whole set of languages set up with it. And then it will record whatever you say translate it to English and also take a picture of you, which they will then cross-reference with a database of pictures that they already have and just pictures of people that have gone to it before in order to like see if you had gone to this before and just try to make it help. So that was really amazing. They used like the creator for the lights, for the microphones, in order to do the sounds, people's voices, and then they connected it, I think, to Google Cloud, to the speech, to Microsoft Azure, to handle something with the database, or AWS to, I think, they're doing the facial recognition on AWS, and they used all three like major cloud platforms, and they actually got it to work within the 36 hours, which that blew my mind the most. That
they got it all together. Like the cross-platform integration was, I don't know, it blows my mind.
It was amazing.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
And I mean, they were like pretty experienced, like hackathon guys. I think they had like 15. They've gone to 15 MLH hackathons, so they for sure know what they're doing. But it was even then, like us knowing what we're doing, it's tough to do that type of project, that complex of a project in that little amount of time. So I think we should have done the app yet before we started the video.
Yeah, this is taking a little bit longer than expected.
Yeah. Let's speak a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's give it like 2 more minutes. If not, we have a backup device that already has it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I guess
that hackathon was really intense. And it was crazy. There were 700. I've been to a couple hackathons, but 700 people in a hackathon.
Yeah. So even more.
And we were supposed to be speaking to the organizers, and they said they got like 850 applicants, and they only expected like 600 to go. Because with events, not everyone goes, but more people ended up going.
Talk about what
Yeah, well, we could show like the.
does that do anything?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So I mean, so we could like open a new tab. Doc stuff, matrix stuff, and then we could just show you some of the examples that we have in how already here. So one thing that we really like to do, so over the summer we updated our documentation, made it amazing. Thank you to Boris and Carlos on our team for that. We worked really hard on it, and it shows. As developers, when we're going into something, when you're first starting out, it can be really difficult to figure out how things work and actually get things to work. So the examples page on our documentation, we set it up so that it has all of the code you need. So as long as you just like copying and pasting the code that we have on there, you'll be able to get it to work for sure. And we test these things whenever any update comes out, just to make sure that anybody starting out where like you don't really know everything that's going on and trying to figure out all these complex things can be really difficult if it's not all there for you. And so just put it all there. Yeah. So the app get upgrade and update finished, and simply just put in the command to download our documents. So
hopefully that will finish up. But today I think today what we're gonna do is kind of show you how easy it is to kind of go through the examples that are already there, and then go through like a quick sort of custom program, very simple, to understand how much you can copy paste from what already exists, and kind of like all you have to do is just put in your logic behind whatever kind of program you want to do. So this is the IMU example, and I want to do this specifically because the program later is going to be like very simple, like when the creator is at a certain orientation, have the lights be green, the orientation Right. And then happen for phenomenal.
In case you don't know, IMU stands for Inertial Measurement Unit, and that is basically the component on the matrix creator, which includes the accelerometer, the gyroscope, and the magnetometer. There's one component that has all three. And from that, you can get the X, Y, Z values for the acceleration, for the gyroscope, for the magnetometer, and then you have some little abstraction there to combine those sensors so that you can get yaw, pitch, and pull. And that's actually what I was using on the drone. So because I was using the Matrix Creator as the gyroscope, as the IMU for the drone, so I was just getting the yaw, pitch, roll values, and that's how I was trying to see those.
Yeah. And that's really fun because you can use yaw, pitch, and roll for pretty much like, like it gives you orientation kind of that.
Yeah, it's just
Okay. It's just like I just haven't seen the big steps before.
yeah, it's just the price.
Well, okay. Sorry
So-
about that. Sooner we boots.
Yeah, that's the last. Okay, so now we'll wait a minute for the time to read.
And then let's switch back into it.
Yep.
And then we can show you a simple IMU example, and then I can show you. It won't take too long to basically copy paste all the cool parts, and then just your logic. That'd be fun.
So I'll go through like explaining everything we're copying and pasting, these libraries, and then like our logic from the scenes. That was our goal. And well, we hope you do the same way. And if you don't, please go on our community at matrix.one. You can ask us some questions there, and yeah, we'll answer them, help you, and from there, our engineers will go on coding our stuff so that it's just better for everything. Okay, so now we're back into the pie. Yeah. So well, let's start off with like never do example, just so that we see that everything's working. So you can go in, it's already downloaded. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we can do then is down.
Okay.
Is
So-
take the file and then copy it to the
Okay,
system.
so this is like when you first like download the package, and the next like the link at the bottom of the just basically how you kind of start off, and then you just basically tells you your directories and just how you place this.
And so CD puts you into the home directory, and KPR is a main directory level folder called Matrix Help Project.
Hello. Seems like somebody's on here who has their mic muted. But yeah, if you have any questions on the demos that we have here, let me know. I'm just chilling here, had a video playing in the background while I waited for people to hop on. But if you have questions about Matrix devices or the company, feel free to talk. I'd be able to hear you. You're just muted, it seems. If you want to just chat, that also works. But yeah, I can let me know if you want to see the demos that I have set up here. I have 3 different demos here.
Hey,
But
thanks. I'll be watching the show, and if I have any questions, I'll be asking you. Thank you.
okay, sure. Yeah, would you like me to show you the demos?
Yeah, I'll hang on.
Have you used Matrix devices before?
Actually, no, but I've been interested in doing so, but I don't have time, so
Yeah.
I'll just do it. I love doing Alexa and all of those stuffs. And Matrix supports that. The voice and the other creator both supports it. So
Yeah.
for now,
Exactly.
I'll just watch over the tutorials and learn how to use it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Have you ever used a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I have Raspberry Pi. I used Raspberry Pi. I use Balena Fin. I use other SBCs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the demos we have here are pretty simple, but I don't know if you've ever used Mozilla IoT Gateway, but that's basically what's on the screen right here. And so the Matrix Creator right here, and that's on the Raspberry Pi, and then the Matrix Voice standalone are actually both controllable through the Mozilla Gateway that I have set up here. So the Matrix Creator, for example, these are all the sensor readings right here. Say for example pitch, which should change as I move it this way and this way, and then roll is back and forth like this. You can see like this, all the sensor values. It has a bunch of sensors, and then you can also set the LEDs on and off. So this is all happening through just like local area Wi-Fi, like local area network through the router. You don't really need internet connection for this. This is super cool. And the idea is that it's to show like a home automation sort of use case using these devices. And we have tutorials for them. So this, for example, the Matrix Voice, I flashed the ESP32 chip through the Raspberry Pi, and then I removed it. And basically now the ESP32 is flashed with firmware that allows it to register as like a web thing for this Mozilla Gateway, which it's really simple, like Arduino style code for this to have these features where it allows it to be controlled remotely, even without the Raspberry Pi. So I can like choose different colors for the LEDs. There's also actually a version of this example that that also allows you through this interface, the Mozilla IoT Gateway interface, to be able to set GPIO values and read GPIO values. But I just didn't set that up for this demo, but it's definitely also doable. So that's pretty cool. So you can remotely control these devices. You can also voice control. So this one is running Snips, and Snips is like a voice assistant that's been deprecated since it's been sort of acquired by Sonos. But before it was deprecated, the binaries were integrated with one of the add-ons in the gateway. There's a bunch of stuff you can do in the gateway. You can like set rules, things like that. So I have a rule that basically like if there's one timer that I have set voice controlled, then it'll set the LEDs to green. So if I say, hey Snips, set a timer for 30 seconds. So if it heard me, it should go green for 30 seconds. But basically that's like like this is just like a simple demo. And then for the other demo I have, which is this Matrix Voice right here, I guess it didn't hear me, but hey Snips, set a timer for 30 seconds. Yeah, I don't have a speaker connected. Oh, there we go. So it's going to be green for 30 seconds. So it's like pretty cool, also voice controlled. Let's see, I think someone else is also, oh, hello. John, welcome to the booth.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good.
Okay, where are you tuning in from?
Memphis?
Memphis, okay, nice. Have you used Matrix devices before?
I have, but just like, I wouldn't consider myself like a veteran at it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Then I assume you've used a Raspberry Pi, right?
The what? Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I prefer Arduino, but
You prefer
Raspberry
Arduino?
Pi is, I guess, an alternative.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Arduino is like microcontroller, and the Raspberry Pi you can like have a full-blown OS on it. So it's a little.
No, I'm sorry, I got to stop you there. Arduino can too. So.
Oh yeah? Okay, I have not used Arduinos that can have OSs. I've only used the Uno, and I guess the Mega, but those were just microcontroller based. But I still liked them. I really like Arduino for sure.
Right, Arduino can do everything that Raspberry Pi can.
Okay.
If not more.
If not more. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I definitely haven't then used the broad range of Arduino devices out there. So So that's cool. That's good to know. But I was just showing some of the demos I have set up. I don't know if you already caught them, but this one with the Matrix Creator on the Raspberry Pi is basically connected to this like gateway that's running on my laptop, and you can like see all the sensor data, like for example pitch, roll. You can set LEDs. So this is like I'm controlling it through my laptop. You could control it through your phone. Um, and the idea is like it's basically like a home automation um, like tool, and that's basically like what you can use it for. And then this is a Matrix Voice. It has a little chip on it called the ESP32, which actually is running Arduino code, which I flashed onto it through the Raspberry Pi, and that's why it can run without it. It can run by itself. And that is also controllable through this portal. Also, like right now, I just have LED control, but you can control like GPIOs, things like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's basically that's the Mozilla IoT sort of home automation type demo I have. And then I have this other demo, which I really should get a speaker for, but I haven't gotten around to it. But this one is running a voice assistant called Raspy. And that's basically like an open source voice assistant, super handy. But it's basically running a simple program to start a workout timer. So basically, like if the speaker was connected and it said, "Hey Porcupine, start my workout," it basically says the workout name and then there's an LED timer. So here, let me see if it hears me. Hey Porcupine, start my workout. So yeah, so if the speaker was connected, you'd hear it name the workout, and then it basically like counts down for however many seconds you say. So this is jumping jacks for 12 seconds, and this is like basically a text file that we put in, and then it's doing plank for 15 seconds. So the idea is you can like customize your workout. It's very simple, but I mean, for me, it's handy during quarantine because I don't want to watch videos while doing workouts. I just want to have something tell me.
All right. Well, you are by far the smartest person on YouTube right now.
Doubt it, but thank you.
No, I would bet big money on that. But the thing is, like, how are you making money off your stuff?
Oh, so we only make money by selling the boards. The software is all open source and online.
Exactly. Like, if I can get it open source and create it myself, like, why are we talking about this? Like,
yeah, well,
what you just explained is amazing. But if I can go on GitHub and get the source code, what am I doing?
Right. So you can get the source code to run it on this device, but you need the device. The schematics for the device are not open source, so you couldn't create your own one of these. You know?
Your little breadboard there?
Yes, the printed circuit board, yeah. So that's how we're making money right now.
You're making money on this?
Just by selling the boards, yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
How much are you making?
Well, I can't disclose exact numbers, but this board costs $99, like US dollars. This one costs, these two costs like 55 or 65.
I think my husband wants to marry you now.
Shut up. All right, I gotta go now because.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for asking questions.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Timothy, if you have...
the new thing to me was like the Matrix voice board. It's a standalone board. I didn't knew that it can do a standalone rather than on being on the top of a Raspberry Pi or any other Linux distros. So that's a new thing for me. So thanks for the information.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, thank you for joining. So the Matrix Voice has two versions actually. So there's one version with this ESP32 chip and one without. So the version with the ESP32 chip can run standalone because it's a Wi-Fi Bluetooth chip. So, I mean, even if it wasn't a Wi-Fi Bluetooth chip, it could, but you would have to always flash it through the Raspberry Pi. Since it is Wi-Fi Bluetooth, you can have over-the-air programming after the first time. So this one can run standalone. But their version without the microcontroller can't at the moment.
So
It
does
has
this run only on the Raspberry Pi? Will it run on the 96 boards? I mean, it should, right? Why 96 boards or any other similar boards?
Yeah, so right now they only run on the Raspberry Pi because of the way the pins are. The pin configuration exactly fits the Raspberry Pi. And the 96 boards have like a different voltage in their pins. We actually like what we're trying to look into how we could support 96 boards, but their pins have a different voltage and they have a different configuration.
Yeah,
So
I think so. 96 boards have 1.3
1.8
volt,
or something, yeah, something like
1.8.
that. Yeah,
But Raspberry Pi uses 3.3. So
yeah, exactly.
so that's a problem there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we would have to have some extra component for voltage regulation or something like that.
So actually, 96 boards have a mezzanine that take these 1.3 volt and they level shifted it to 3.3.
Oh,
I'm not
really?
sure if it's 1.3. It's 1.8, I think so, right?
Yeah, I think it's 1.8.
Yeah. So they have a mezzanine which they take 1.8 and they level shifted it to 3.3. So if you can try using it, maybe we can get it running.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I actually didn't know they had a mezzanine for that, but I will for sure. I will for sure check that out. Yeah, because I think a lot of people want to sometimes get these running with other boards. Like there was one group that messaged us one time, and they actually I think got it running with a Jetson Nano TX2 or something along those lines. They had to basically go into the code and like sort of because the code is open source, they were able to map the pins to different components for the like TX2, but they were still able to figure it out, I think. But it's a lot more work. It's not out of the box. Out of the box it works with the Raspberry Pi the best. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so I have pasted a link. That's the audio mezzanine actually from the 96 boards that have a level shifter in them from Arrow Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
So it can from 1.8 volt to 3.3 or 5 volt it can level shift. So if you try
Okay.
using that, maybe we can fix the problem of matrix devices into 96 boards.
Oh yeah, no, this definitely looks like it could potentially work. So yeah, I'll check it out. I'll just have to see what the pin configuration is. Um, But yeah, in firmware, like once it's level shifted in firmware, it should definitely we should definitely be able to do it. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, so right now, if you have any questions, if you have further questions, you can let me know. Let me know in the chat.
Yeah, I do have a
Uh,
question that
yeah.
if the Matrix voice or creator can run on a Raspberry Pi Zero with just 512 MB RAM.
Yes, it can. It can run on the Raspberry Pi Zero. The only thing people have had issues with is if you're trying to run a program that sort of overloads the memory, then obviously that can cause it to crash. But besides that, the devices are able to run on the Pi Zero as well.
Okay, so looks like I got my Matrix doubts cleared. So time for your valuable time to clear my doubts. Hope to see you another time. So thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for joining. Have a great
Yeah,
rest of the day.
you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. So for everybody else who's on the stream, I'm over here live chilling. I'm going to play a YouTube video in the background while I wait for people to join or post in the chat if you have questions. And so yeah, I'm just going to continue playing the YouTube video. And this is just like from our live stream channel.
Is basically going into that section.
So then to like make an app, I can and then
And Nano is a tech center.
and I should be able to this code just turns the envelope on for 10 seconds, and I won't go through the code line by line right now because I will go through the code line by line when you write it online.
Then you can go through this yourself. All the lines are commented that way you know exactly.
Very, very well commented. Save it.
And now
Private which also here, which is nice. Yeah, so there's one I have it up,
you
and
can scroll down on docs. And it says right there, see project, just as a precaution in case you weren't in it already. And then,
so
yeah,
there you go.
and that's easy. And we
And
just
this for nothing.
and we copied and pasted all of that code. That none of that we wrote ourselves down. So it shows you like just by copying and pasting it, reading through it, you can figure out what's happening and then use it create whatever you want.
Yeah, so after this you can definitely go into the references and check out like whatever you want. So we're in like the IMU example. I could do the example, or I guess I could just go straight into what I wanted to do. Yeah, let me just go straight into it because you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see what's going on anyway. So I'm just gonna like make like another file. I'll call it like test.
And just for simplicity, because you saw Nano, all the text is green, which is fine if you want to do that through SSH. We have something set up in a program called CyberDoc. And basically, what we have set up is SMT, SSH, FTP file transfer protocol. So we'll be able to directly edit that file from our computer instead of SSH.
Yeah, so the way like Cyber works is you put open connection, and then over here you can do SSH, and then put your IP address right there, and then you can connect to Pi, and then you must put the Raspberry, right here, or and once you connect, it's really nice. It's kind of clear up here, you can go here, and I can see all my files. And the reason like we like this is because we can kind of go into your code, which is our preferred text editor, but it can be whatever for you.
And kind of maybe Sublime, Notepad++, anything you want, just like music.
Yeah. So for this program, which we just want to read the IMU data, so get some there are like role, PGA, and then other fields as well. But we want for this particular one, I'm going to use role. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The main thing is we want to. So when you start off, you want to.
All right, all. It is actually time. I am going to close up this virtual booth. Thanks for everyone who joined, who engaged, who chatted. Greetings from Miami to all developers who build Matrix Creator and Matrix Voice. Thank you for that, Rodolfo. So I'm going to sign off now for the booth. And you can feel free to play this back and you'll be able to see more. Let's see. So you can see a human being. Hello. Thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, leave them in the YouTube chat. And if you ever want to sort of engage in the Matrix community. We have a forum, community.matrix.one, and that's where you can sort of post any questions you have, post any projects you're working on, post any ideas you have. We're always engaging on there. You can check out our Hackster projects, hackster.io/matrix-labs. I'll put all those links in the description of this video as well. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed the rest of Maker Faire and the rest of your day. And yeah, bye everyone. Right.